Atomic batteries to power, turbines to speed. Roger, ready to move out. Oh, I got it all wrong. I should have said like atomic batteries to power, turbines to speed. Roger, ready to move out. I strode it up bad. Damn it, wrong show's canceled tonight, folks. Messing up the line. See, I should have the soundbite, perp. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Monday Night Mark C. Comics Talk on Clobberin Times. It's Monday night, and I forgot to put the. Sorry about that, Mark. Welcome everybody. Oh, there we go. I don't know what I'm doing tonight. Okay, I never do, but that's beside the point. Oh my goodness. Welcome, my good friends. Let's do some Bat Talk. It's not just Mark C. Comics Talk, it's Mark C. Bat Talk tonight. And want to say, first of all, a wonderful, warm welcome to my guests for this evening. My wonderful guest host for this evening. She is, of course, the lovely, the beautiful, the extraordinary Purple Valkyrie, although tonight she's a green Valkyrie because she's Poison Ivy. Welcome, dear. Great to see you.
Good evening, Clubby. Good to see you. Hey, guys.
It is so wonderful to have you here with me tonight to talk some of the Bat.
Absolutely.
But before I do that, I'll say a few hellos, though, to some wonderful friends who are popping in and out of the chat. Wow, someone popped in at 3:15 today. That doesn't count. Found some outsiders. I better turn my damn phone off. Oh, good. There we go. I can't do anything right today. Lord Doth, who is as we speak somewhere at a movie theater watching some movie of a similar title to tonight's show. The great J-Man, what's up, brother? Had a great time talking with you on Friday night reviewing The Batman, buddy. I hope you and everyone please go to J-Man's channel and subscribe. I have a link in my subscription below. And he has an awesome channel. And, buddy, let me know how you're doing on Blake 7. He, like two other of my wonderful friends, are finally watching Blake 7, and I'm very excited about that because I have nobody to talk to about Blake 7 that very often, Purple. So let's see, Raquel's getting close to done. J-Man's close to done. Mark's getting there.
Nice. So, are you going to talk about it when they've watched it?
Bursting at the seams of it. It's been, problem being, and I did it a couple times early on in the show, but I can't find that many people that have, and this will be freshly watched by them, so that'll help as well. But I can't, Thoth knows his Blake 7, so he wants to when he gets a chance. He's a busy man. We're planning to do that as well. But yes, I have other people who can't wait to do a big round table on it because I love it so much. I'm insanely obsessed with the show. I admit it. And now to have them watching it and catching up, for the first time, which is a strange thing for me since I've been in love with it for like 35 years or whatever it is, and watch it multiple times a year. It's pathetic. So it'll be fun to have some, to be able to talk about Blake 7 and, because I can't even, when they ask me about certain things, certain episodes, Raquel's terrified to even look at Google. Don't even Google the show because it will mess you up, by the way.
Yes. You don't want spoilers.
Yeah, you can't do that. I mean, you can't look at an episode guide, I'm telling you. And so I can't wait to talk to them about it. And it's fun watching her reactions. We got this little walkie-talkie app thing that she and Mark and I share a channel on this WhatsApp or whatever. Now and then she'll send like, oh my God, this or oh my God, that. And I'll go, oh, I know what episode she's watching. Holy crap. D-Bud Martin, the Man of Iron. Good to see you there, buddy. Thank you for being here, my friend. Kal-El, the Man of Superness. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. Dave Travels Through Time, Channel 2. Hello there, Dave Travels Through Time, Channel 2. Good to see you, brother. Welcome. The great Chris Persia's here. Way. What's up, man? Thanks for being here, bud. Hungry Boy. Oh, man, there you go. Hungry Boy. He's another one who has seen the show, so I could speak in front of him about it, but there are too many people. I can't even say much about the show in front of people now, except when they name an episode, I give them my episode ranking because I have all the episodes. That's how bad I am, Perp. I have all the episodes ranked.
It sounds like you can't wait to talk about this show.
I can't wait. It's killing me. Your Muscle Uncle. Hey there, buddy. Good to see you, man. Thank you for being here. Hey, Michael Beacom. It's good to see you, man. Let's see here. Yeah, you're in season 4. J-Man, you're in season 4. And yes, D-Bud, Avon lives, but you can't say much more than that. That saying is going to get us in trouble eventually. Avon lives, and long live the Legion. Pat S. Buddy. Eric K., the great. Oh, man, look, the great Eric K. is here, the bronze wrencher. Look at him. There he is.
There he is.
Oh, blame Chris Persia for that. Eric, take it up with Chris. He was the one that sent me that. Let's see. Yeah. Oh man, you can't cheat like that. My favorite episodes, of course. Avon speaks. So no, actually, he wasn't in the first one. He's in 51 of the 52 episodes. So, just saying. Trevor Cunningham, how do you do there? Good to see you, JD Lewis, my friend. And so, before we get started with the show notes and then get on with tonight's program, I want to say that she's not here with us tonight, but my wonderful first officer is. Well, she has wonderful works of literary fiction that I will have a link to in my description below. So take a look at this really quickly, and then we'll do the show notes. And there you go, folks. And I will keep the link alive there. Wednesday night, I have no clue what I'm doing, so it'll just be probably me here running my stupid mouth about nothing in particular. So please join me for the not so much fun, but they will try. Clobby's Clubhouse on Thursday night, also same time, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're having a wonderful time with that show, of course, with Raquel and Mark, as always. And then, of course, starting season 6 on Saturday night, Star Trek.
Season 6. That's crazy.
Already 6. Yeah, we had a big celebration for season 5 this past week and had a lot of fun with that. And now we're back down to business again with 4 episodes per night. Season 6. Looking forward to it. We have just, as you well know, we have so much fun with our Saturday night Star Trek. We really do. It's amazing. Eric K., thank you for the $5 super chat, buddy. You were too kind. He says, love you, Clobby, and the gang just not feeling like being online tonight. Still crushed from the weekend news. Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, thank you. Hey, bud, look, I totally understand that, buddy. Eric, feel better, man, and condolences. Big time on that. I knew of the gentleman. I didn't know him personally, but Clobberin times, utmost respects and condolences to John Bartolo and his family and his friends.
Absolutely, yeah. Really, really sorry for your loss, guys.
I'm not privy to what happened. But it was still shocked about it, knowing what I know of the gentleman, because he said, he's been good friends with the Geeks and Gamers people and others like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I didn't know him personally, but I knew he had a show. So, yeah. So sorry to hear that. It is a shocker. Obviously, it was something that was not expected. So, for what little I do know, and so yes, so sorry about that, and for your loss there, because I knew Eric knew him.
Yes, absolutely.
Take care, brother. Hungry boy, good to see you there, bro. Let's see if anyone else popped in, and then we'll get to it. That's it. There we go. Take care, Eric. Appreciate you, brother. We're getting close to a very sad anniversary for us. This is next week. We'll do something for it. This is, of course, getting close to the anniversary of when we lost my dear friend Mark C. So
yes, absolutely.
In his honor, I miss him big time, and in his honor, we'll have a little fun talking about a character that he loved tonight. Because last week it was Superman. This week we're talking Batman, and he did love Batman, of course. You won't find too many people that don't love them both. If they love one or the, if they love one, they love the other, because they are very.
That's it. He had excellent taste.
Of course, and he did. He loved him some Batman. So, folks, basically everyone's been talking about the new film The Batman, which is out there, rightly so. It's definitely understandable. And I did, and let's see. This weekend I was I did I did my Thursday night show, and then at the next, I think the next day, I was on with the. I was honored to be asked on with the Midnight's Edge folks on there, and then of course later I did my own show with my own review about it. I think I did another one, and then the other night, Tom at Midnight's Edge was. I just popped in to say hello, and then he and Script Doctor were talking about the Batman '66 Adam West film, and they asked me to come on, so I was honored to do that. I went and talked to them a little bit about that the other day as well, and I think it was on one or two. Oh yeah, the Pop Culture Minefield. Our good buddy Sarah was on with them talking about the Batman. So all over the place talking about the Batman, and everyone is reviewing it, and everyone's doing videos, rightly so.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought, since we are a Monday night comics talk show, we will talk about Batman from a different angle. Everyone's given their opinion of the movies, and anyone who wants to ask a question about the movie can feel free. But and anything you have to say about it, of course, you could also feel free, Purple. But I thought we would just talk about why we love Batman, a little bit of how we got started with it, and then basically we'll just have a little bit of fun, chilling out, looking at some Batman pictures and stuff. How about that?
Sounds good.
Comics and stuff. Comics, of course, because he's a comic book character for the most part. But yeah.
Absolutely, that sounds awesome. And like you say, everybody's talking about the film at the moment, and I'm really enjoying hearing people's opinions and people's takes on it. It's really kind of lit a fire under people, which is good.
Yes, and it's never a bad time to be excited about the Bat. I love him. He started it all for me. But before I give my much mentioned origins of my Batman love, let me get yours, because we may have spoken about this before, Purple, but I'm not so sure. But even if we did, many don't know. So, how did you get started? If you are indeed a Batman fan, are you first? And if you are, how did you get started with the Bat?
I am a huge Batman fan. He is, in fact, my favorite comic book hero. It always has been. The first clear memory that I really have of him was the '89 Batman film. So that's the one that really kind of cemented the idea of him in my mind. And then I went on to read the comic books, and it just took off from there. It's a character that I've always loved. We talk about, or a lot of people talk about, they can't enjoy something unless they can see themselves in it now. But I always thought that was a stupid idea. I love Batman, but I've never needed to see myself in Batman to enjoy him.
No, and only that, you still can see yourself in someone without looking like them or having anything that in common with them either, because you have an imagination. Exactly. So I think you do see yourself in them in some ways. Like, you want to be Batman, or you want to be like Batman, you want to be like whichever character, Superman, whomever it is. In a sense, I always thought that was more what relating to a character was, rather than they've got to. Aren't we so superficial now? He's got to. I mean, they have to literally have the same color skin as me. They have to have the same. They have to look just like me in every way, and be just like me for me to relate to him. I never could stand that crap.
I wouldn't mind having his money, but absolutely.
Well, yes. Right. No one can relate to Bruce Wayne's money, but then no one can relate to Superman's superpowers. But hell, you can still relate to Bruce Wayne's humanity, because he had his parents murdered in front of him. And I'll tell you, my first exposure is obvious because he's right there. 2 years old, not under 2 years old. The TV show had just been in theaters. And Adam West TV show is the reason, according to my parents, if they told me all my life, why the first word I could speak was Batman. Running around with a towel, yelling, or I guess trying to sing Batman, Batman, Batman. That's what they said. He kept saying Batman all over the place. And all my geekness, the reason we were here, the reason why you and I know each other, why our dear friends are hearing my stupid voice right now over this YouTube, is Adam West Batman's fault, folks. I don't know what. I mean, not saying, I don't know. Maybe I would have been a geek for something else. I guess it could be possible. But that is where it started, and where I just fell in love with superheroes.
Were you fortunate enough to meet Adam West? Because he's one of the people I would have loved to have met. I came close to meeting him, but sadly he passed before I got the chance.
3 times. First one being the best, because it was 1985 at the World of Wheels in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and he and Dick Grayson, listen to me, I'm an idiot, Burt Ward, were in costume.
Really?
And it was $5 to get into the event, and it just so happened at this event, because the show really hadn't been shown that much at Baton Rouge at that point. A buddy of mine and I went, that we were there. We were, we were of course in our 20s, and most of them were little kids going in line, probably most of which had never even seen the show at that point. They just knew they thought they were seeing Batman and Robin. Hello there, Matthew Pounder. And so we go through the line, and I ask, such an idiot, but I'm going to get his autograph. I asked Adam West, would you sign this to Joe Chill? He said, oh, Joe, what? And I said, Joe Chill, he's the guy that killed Batman's parents. To Joe Chill, the evil one. And then he smiled, he laughed, he goes, that laugh he had. And then Burt Ward, I asked him, I said, it's worth a shot. I'll ask him to sign his Boss Zuko. Who killed Robin's parents? And he goes, I said, well, he's the guy that killed Robin's parents. He goes, wait a minute. Robin's parents died in a highway accident. I said, yes, he put the acid on the ropes of the highway. What acid? And then in comes Batman to the rescue. These guys know, pal. Believe me. They just said, okay, he signed it. What the hell? It was so stupid. We went back to the line 5 times. And we brought a little recorder. And I asked Adam West, because the Batman 66 movie. He has this line where he's holding the bomb, trying to get rid of it.
Yep, some days you just can't get rid of a bomb. Yeah.
I asked him to say the line, but I said, "Can you say your favorite line in the movie?" And he took a second. I said, some days, and then he finished. He goes, "Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb." I started laughing, and I wish I could find the tape. If I could find the tape, I would play it. Because, buddy, I think a friend of mine says he's got it buried somewhere on this old cassette tape.
Oh, if you could dig that up, that would be amazing.
I interviewed me just talking to him. Like, we're talking back and forth, and he's laughing at stupid shit we're saying. And he says, "Oh, well, so what do you do anyway?" And I said, I'm 21 years old or whatever. I'm just an idiot kid with a smart aleck mind. I'm just sort of like looking for my lot in life, because I was stuck working on my dad's car lot at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't know what that meant. He goes, "Well, I hope you find it by tomorrow." I'm like, wow. I mean, that's my best friend now, Adam West. My best friend. And I swear to you, 15 years later at a con in New Orleans, I'm walking. Again, he don't know me from, there's no way he remembers me, but as a joke, I pretended like he did, because I'm walking through with a Batman. I just happened to have a Batman shirt with a big black bat on it. And he kind of almost runs into him, and he goes, "Oh, excuse me there, sir, Bat. How you doing?" And he kept walking. I'm like, holy shit. I'm best buddies with Adam West. That's it. He's my friend now. So I always jokingly refer to him as my good, close, personal friend, Adam West, because that's my hero, man. That's my hero.
I've got to admit, I've never heard a bad story about him from anyone who's ever met him. They said he was a gentleman.
The Clobberin, yes, the get me the shark repellent bat spray. Yes, he was very nice. And I think I got to see him at a couple other panels and some cons and stuff. So that's one of the ones. And I just love that man. And back when he passed a couple of years back, that hit me right in the gut. I mean, that just punched me up. I was, again, because it's weird, as someone you don't, you meet him a couple of times. It's not the same. That's somebody that's not in your life. You don't know. It's not like they're part of your family or even your friends. But but this is someone that's meant something special to you since you were 2 years old.
Yes.
And then you do get to meet him a couple of times, and he makes you feel good, and he's nice to you. And so when he passed a couple of years ago, that was just a killer to me. I'm liking that. I think the only two that would, first of all, with Jack Kirby, that one hit me, is the worst. That's the worst. The one when Jack Kirby died, that hit me worse than any, in terms of somebody that I met, but what was a quote unquote celebrity or hero to me. And then Adam West was meant so many years later when it happened to him. That was as close as it got to feel the way it felt when Jack died. And the only two, I barely met Shatner, but that's going to be painful. And I never met Tom Baker, unfortunately, but that's going to be one that just tears me up. Paul Darrow, as a fan of Blake Seven, how much I love that one really messed me up bad. As far as deaths of people that, you don't know personally, but they did so much that touched you in a way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is sad when one of your heroes pass, especially when you do get to meet them and they turn out to be so nice.
Yes, absolutely. And, since we're being a bit Did you ever see the old Batman reunion on? I think it was Greg Kinnear late night show. I don't know if I saw that one. I've seen that reunion movie they made, of course, for the TV show, which was interesting. But since we're being melancholy anyway, we should start out. Batman's origins are not that happy
Mm-hmm.
in terms of his creation because of what happened to this gentleman here, Bill Finger. I'm not going to mention the name of the guy who co-created it with him.
Yes, I was going to ask, are we going to mention him?
Well, you can. I'm not. I mean, what he did, he doesn't need to be. He's been mentioned. He got plenty of money off of it. He lived a long life with a lot of money and a lot of lies. So I'm just going to say, I'm going to talk about, Bill Finger.
Well, let's celebrate Bill Finger rather than the artist, Bob Kane. Yes.
Oh, you want to back? And here we're going to back that up a little bit right now, too. Let me show you something. I've shown this before. And for those who don't, anyone who ever doubts how much Bill Finger really is the creator of Batman, no matter how much, what's his face, who I won't name, did anything. Let me show you something.
He who shall not be named.
He who shall not be named. This is a little strip by an artist called Ty Templeton called "What If Bob Kane Had Created Batman Without Bill Finger?" And I'm sure some of you have seen this before. I've showed it.
I've seen this before, yep.
Let's say this Bat whatever on the rooftop. Batman and no one, the boy wonder. What to do? That looks like a bad guy. Time to go into action. Ow. Say, that was easy. Grrr. Time to go to jail. I caught a crook. What's with the wings, Pally? I lifted them from a sketch by Leonardo da Vinci. Beyond that, I don't know. Can you help me? Is there some sort of commissioner of police I could talk to? Not in this comic. Are there any other imaginative and colorful villains that need capturing? Nope. Well, then I guess I'll go home. I wish I had a car. Just Bob. Next, all of Bob Kane's other ideas. It's perfect. It's
so good.
Yeah, that's right, folks. Fingerless Batman. And I think I told you this once before, Purple. At Dragon Con, the last time I think maybe the last or one I meant, I don't know, maybe 5-6 years ago, whatever it was. Not too long after this strip came out, I ran into a guy cosplaying this. And he even had copies of this. And first, I bumped into him and I go, "Oh, Fingerless Batman, right?" He goes, "Oh my God, you know who I am?" I said, "Well, sure." He said, "Nobody knows, man." Thank you. We started talking for a while. I said, that is the most hilarious cosplay I've ever seen, man.
That is brilliant.
That's better than the cosplay I saw one year with somebody, schoolhouse dressed up as from Schoolhouse Rock as the bill that becomes a law.
Oh my gosh. That's an elaborate costume.
Yeah. So a little bit of a tribute there, folks, to the great Bill Finger, because he deserves it. A Clobberin Times tribute to him. What we'll do now, we'll talk. Well, he also pretty much, he wrote, his writing was key. He wrote, for the origin. It was crucial. His writing for the origin. Criminals are a cowardly, superstitious lot. So my disguise must be able to strike terror into their hearts. Must be a creature of the night, black, terrible, and as if it ends, there a huge bat flies in the opening window. A bat! That is it! It's an omen. I shall become a bat. And thus is born the weird figure of the dark, this avenger of evil, the Batman. Yeah, buddy.
Heck yes.
It's been the way it is. Let's see. Finger was a great writer, though, too. He was so imaginative, especially for back then.
Mm-hmm.
It was just so many things.
He was. I've heard it said that he was responsible for about half to 75% of everything behind Batman, but obviously he didn't get really any recognition for it.
He pretty much I think he deserves credit for a little over anywhere from 65 to 70%. Jerry Robinson deserves some credit as well, especially on the creations of Batman and the Joker. And Bob Kane deserves. I said his name. Sorry, folks. Boob Kane deserves about I mean, first of all, I don't mind him. I wouldn't mind him if he got co-created because he does co-creator credit now. But he deserves about maybe really 10 to 15%, and he's really everything he did. Most of it was kind of just a character that was very generic, very much of a Shadow ripoff, and a ripoff of other pulp characters. Kal-El says, it's so sad what happened to Mr. Finger and how he got cheated of the credit that he so richly deserved in the creation of Batman. It is indeed. Let's see here. So, Batman, folks. We have just sort of like we'll just look at some covers. But first, I want to say that when it comes to Batman art, my top 6 Batman artists are Dick Sprang. Not that guy who helped create him, because his art was another thing about Bob Kane. I said his name again. He did very crude art, and he had other artists like Jack Burnley, George Russo's, I believe it was, Jack Shipp, I think, a few other, Sheldon Modoff, a bunch of guys who really, spruced us up and fixed a lot of it. He was a shitty artist, to be honest with you. But there's Dick Sprang, Carmine Infantino, of course, Neil Adams, Marcia Rogers, Jim Aparo, and Bruce Timm. There are plenty of other fine Batman artists before people start throwing things, but those are my top ones.
That's a good list. Yeah, I would agree with a lot of those.
Yes, they're my definitive person. See, like this was pretty good by Bob Kane. Good work. It was a nice cover, but it was still so much of this was Bill Finger changing, writing and defining the character for him. And I do believe, if I remember, either Jack Burley or Sheldon Modoff helped him draw the cover, helped him ink the cover. I don't think Bob Kane he rarely ever did full inks, if I'm not mistaken there, Hungry Boy. That's true. Yeah, Matthew Pounder. Bill Finger created other things as well. It's true. Wildcat. And let's see here. So yeah, but anywhere here you go with the first appearance of Batman. Can you imagine buying this off the shelf? And
to be honest, I could, because that cover would really appeal to me. I'd gravitate towards that if I saw it.
I would too, because this is like, a costume hero of that type, other than Superman at that time, was fairly rare, especially on comic books. Not, there've been a couple, but mostly in pulps and strips. And so,
and this came out on the 30th of 30th of March, was it, if I remember correctly, the first issue?
Oh, of number 27?
Oh, May. Okay.
Yeah, something like. Well, it's cover dated May. Back then, they used to cover date the same day they printed stuff. Later, it wasn't until later they started the cover date being way in advance. But that's a ballpark when it came out. But yes, and it was something. Let's see. So the spinner rack, old chum. Michael Beacom says, the first time I realized BK was not as good as advertised was when I saw him do some Batman artwork design, and it was like, yeah, well, I don't know if I ever told you about this, Purple, but in the what was it? In the 60s or so, when the Batman TV show was at its zenith of popularity, Bob Kane decided to cash in with a series of quote unquote paintings, Batman paintings that looked a lot like in his so-called style, that sold for a whole lot of money. And it was all by original Batman creator Bob Kane. But there's just one little bitty problem with those paintings. People who spent this money, because again, they were, I guess, hipsters at the time, and they were people with money to burn. And they thought that was the big thing in pop culture. The show was red hot, and he sold a lot of these things and made a lot of money. One little bitty problem: he didn't do squat. He hired Joe Giella, a well-known Golden Age artist at the time, who did all the art, and he paid him not much though. But he didn't even. But he sold them as Bob Kane originals. Bardic D with a C. What's up, Chief of Janela? So yeah, that's if you just needed any more reason to know what a phony Bob Kane was.
So he really did write other people's talent then.
If his daddy hadn't, because he was 18 years old when this character came out, if his daddy hadn't, had been a slick shyster, he'd have been just as screwed as everybody else in comics history. But anyway, as you can see, this is some of a little bit of representation from the golden age of Batman. I mean,
I always like that cover.
Yeah, I do. I really love this cover. Alex Ross did a cool take on this one.
Yes, I remember that actually.
Yeah, it's cool. And then Dick Sprang, one of my favorite Batman artists. Again, this is at a time when you can see the leading up to the years leading up to this is what kind of inspired the Batman series with Adam West.
Mm-hmm. I always loved that style of Catwoman as well, where she's in the dress.
Yeah, I love that. I love that Catwoman costume, by the way. That's one of my favorites of hers. And I love this Batcave. Jesus Christ. I have a buddy of mine has the original print that this was made and sold for by Dick Sprang, who, he didn't know how popular his work was till like somewhere around the 80s. He said in interviews, he's like, it didn't really mean that much. And all of a sudden he started seeing a lot of people who were kind of kids when this came out, starting to go to cons to him and ask him to draw for him and stuff. And Dick Sprang was just blown away at how popular his 50s Batman work was. And this, I would love to have that print. There's a gigantic print of this somewhere out here. That's gorgeous. I love it, man.
That would look so good up on the wall. I love the detail. Everywhere you look, there's something new to catch your eye.
Yes, you can look at it for hours. There's so much stuff on this thing. It's fantastic. Dick Sprang was extraordinary. You got the big...
You've got the giant penny. I love that. The dinosaur.
The penny, dinosaur. I like that bat sub. The various a couple of different vehicles. The microscope. Wow. It's just... man, God, it's fantastic. I love this stuff. Let's see here. And then, of course, again, this is Batman on an alien planet. And that's why the show kind of is fairly faithful to what Batman was in comic books leading up to that point.
Mm-hmm. Just to go off on a slight tangent, how popular was the show when it first aired? Was it an immediate success? Do you remember, or was it something that kind of got a cult following later on?
Yes, it was a big success, and it was not intended. They wanted the movie to come out first.
Ah, okay.
There's this, as you know, there's the 1966 Batman movie, which I love.
Yeah,
that's all four villains.
Good
they were
movie.
shooting it. Yeah, they were shooting it like after they shot the series, but they actually kind of wanted the movie to come first. But ABC was having some trouble with some ratings and some shows and so whatnot, so they put the show ahead of it, and it did very well. In January of 1966, I think it was just because again, no one had seen anything like it, and I did very well, especially both of its first couple of years.
I always like the celebrity cameos that they got.
Oh God, yes,
as well.
Oh God, yes, they were fantastic. Let me see here. Let's see if we can think of some of them. All right, you've got, Green Hornet Kato was actually, even though later they would appear in an episode to fight Batman and Robin, they when their show was being talked about, they popped out of the window. Let's see, Sammy Davis Jr., Edward G. Robinson, Warner Klempler, yes, Colonel Klink from Owen's Heroes.
That one I remember. Yep. Walking up the side of the building.
Yes, yep. Lurch from Addams Family. God, who were some of the other ones? Victor Borno was a villain. Well, he played King Tut. Yeah, was Frank Sinatra? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, they're talking about guys who played villains. We're talking about Roddy McDowell was great as a bookworm. No, we're talking about the people who popped out the window for the cameos. But I mean, the villains were great, man. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I don't think Frank Sinatra did, Michael. But I could be wrong. Chuck Woolery. Get out of here. Chuck Woolery. Look at you.
Did we say Jerry Lewis?
Be a bit young. Go ahead, sorry.
Did we say Jerry Lewis?
Yeah, Jerry Lewis. That's right.
Yep.
Jerry Lewis. Dick Clark. Pretty sure. I think Dick Clark. I'd have to look him up. There were about 14 or so. Liberace was a villain. You're all naming people who played villains, which is true. Dick Clark, there you go. But we're talking about the popping out of the window appearances. Steve Mitchum, what's up, bro? Terry Rose, good to see you. Thank you for being here. But yeah, the window cameos were fantastic, and the villains again, so many great villains. I mean, look at that. It's tough to pick a favorite. I think I Frank Gorshin's probably my favorite, but whack, 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 Burgess Meredith is great. Cesar Romero.
Yeah, I really liked Frank Gorshin. I've got to admit, his version of the Riddler was probably one of the most enjoyable. And I always thought he was really sinister, even more so than the Joker in this. There was something really unhinged about the way he played the Riddler.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. He was just amazing. And then when he left for a while, he skipped and didn't do an episode, so they had John Astin play him. John Astin's a great actor, but he was not the same. And then later, they wanted to do a Riddler story, but they reworked it for Maurice Evans and called him the Puzzler. Here you see, in order, Cesar Romero, Burgess Meredith, Frank Gorshin, the lovely Julie Newmar Catwoman, my favorite.
Yes.
Otto Preminger, either the second or the third Mr. Freeze. The first one was George Sanders. Then I think it was Otto. Then it was Walter Slezak. No, not Walter. It was Eli Wallach. So 3 different guys played Mr. Freeze. There you go with David Wayne. I loved what's his name is Shane Robinson's. What's his name? Cliff Robinson.
Cliff Robinson.
And Shane is terrific.
I love Vincent Price as Egghead. That's
Vincent
funny.
Price was magnificent. Victor Borno was great. Liberace, Roddy McDowell as Bookworm, Maurice Evans as Puzzler, Louis the Lilac. That's come on now, don't do this. Don't give me a blank on this. Milton Berle with Joan Collins as the Siren, and that lady is Marsha Queen of Diamonds, whose name I always forget. But that, yeah, I mean, what a gallery, huh? Art Carney played a villain as well as the Archer. So they had some of them on here. Then you had the greatest car of all time.
I love that car.
Alex Ross right here. Go ahead.
That is gorgeous. If you could pick one car to drive, would you pick that one?
I love all kinds of iterations of the Batmobile, but this is numero uno for me personally. There are other many great ones, but good God Almighty, I just love it. It's just perfection to me. Perfection. Yeah, Carolyn Jones. Thank you, J.D. Lewis. That's the one I didn't get. So thank you, and she was lovely. So yeah, that was Carolyn Jones from the Munsters, right? I think so.
Possibly. I've never actually seen the Munsters.
Oh, I got you. And now, do you want to see my first love in life?
Go for it.
The thing that made that I knew at the age of 2 that I was or 3 that I was a heterosexual.
God, I love that costume.
What is it about purple? Purple? I don't know, but
it's just something about it, isn't there? And she wears it beautifully.
My first love. Well, okay, I gotta admit, I was a cheating dog at the age of 2 and 3 because I loved her, but I also had my heart split in 2 for her and Judy Robinson on Lost in Space.
Mm-hmm.
Marta Kristen. I loved them both. I tell you, I was really, what was I going to do? I loved them both. I couldn't decide. Oh, no.
But what a figure Yvonne Craig had. She looks incredible.
Oh, yes. D-Bud. I mean, no, D-Bud. I saw you already, D-Bud. Yes. I mean, Dad Man. What's up, dude? The Dad Man clan. So, yes, she was just, oh, my God. Gorgeousness. And then moving on back to comics, see, that was what got me into, obviously, the Batman in general. You know, that, and of course, again, many repeated viewings of the Batman movie. But when it comes to comic books, at a very young age, of course, I've been seeing some cartoons. I don't have any of the old cartoon pictures here, but then I ended up getting this book. I bought it, and I think I had a handful of comic books, right? But, and by the way, when the Batman TV show was out, this is what your pretty much comic kind of looked like right here. Styled to look a little bit more like the TV show. They gave him the yellow bat.
Mm-hmm. That's the one thing I was going to ask you as well. Do you have a favorite look of him? Do you prefer him with the gray and blue, or do you prefer him more in black or more muted colors? Do you have a favorite kind of color palette for him?
Addams Family. Okay, sorry, Steve. Yes, not Munsters. Sorry. Thanks for clobbering that bot. I didn't even see it. I didn't even see a bot. Oh, there it is. Thank you, D Bud. Well done, buddy. Yes, I'm a blue gray boy all day. As you can see, as you can probably imagine, but I am a blue gray extremist. I should say he should be that. I mean, I don't mind some of the costumes that have little, the black. Sometimes if there's gray involved with the gray and black, I'm fine. But and this, of course, this is a Neil Adams cover, kind of before he changed the character. But this is kind of a basic look, and we'll see. We'll be seeing a lot of other covers later, but there's some covers. Just sort of like doing sort of a linear history with Batman right now, a little bit in terms of comics. But when I was a kid and I was getting a few comics, and I'd seen the show and seeing a couple of the Filmation Batman cartoons, and then on Super Friends. But then I got this book, Purple, and it's purple. What is it with this purple going on? There's all kind of purple going on. But purple, I got this one, Batman from the 30s to the 70s. Some color bits, a lot of black and white bits, but reprints from all the eras from then to then, obviously, as it says.
That's a nice book.
Wore this up. I don't even have that dust jacket anymore. I wore that sucker out. I have an old, dilapidated, beat-up copy now that I got this. I must have got it when I was 8 or 9 years old. And, there's some Irv Novick in there, J.D. Lewis, but there's some everybody in there. I mean, it stops, like I said, right at the tip of the 70s.
Is this book still available, or is it quite hard to find?
I think it ain't too cheap on eBay last I saw, but I don't know. Yeah, it's and I don't think it's in print at all.
No, I can imagine.
But I love this Carmen Infantino, Murphy Anderson cover, and I still cherish it. Though, but this was my childhood. I mean, I have the Superman one, of course, also Superman from the 30s and 70s, and Shazam from the 40s to the 70s. I have all those, and they're beat to hell. But I was a kid. I didn't care about condition. I just couldn't put them down. That was all of us. That's right, Phantom Outsider. Frank Robbins, give Frank Robbins a little credit. He was a better writer than artist at that point. And then, for those who don't know, the Batman TV show was on the wane a little bit. It's going into a third season, and the campy, as they like to call it, or the cornball stuff, was getting a little old. It was kind of faddish. And by the way, I don't know if you know, Purple, but the campy or the cornball stuff on that show infected other TV shows.
Did it?
For example, The Man from U.N.C.L.E., which was a great show. Mm-hmm. If you look at its first two seasons are relatively serious. The first one was black and white. The second season, they went into a third season, and because the popularity of the Batman TV show, the episodes are wildly more outrageous with sillier stories, sillier titles and plots. And again, while it was wonderful for Batman to be that way, it and I think maybe one or two other shows got really silly because they were riding the coattails of Batman. And then season 4, which was the last season of Man from U.N.C.L.E., if I remember right, kind of toned it back and went back to more serious. I mean, it's still out there, adventures and stuff. Mm-hmm. So Batman had an effect on that and a lot of the culture. The TV show did. So that's why the comic book was lighter. But then a couple of gentlemen by the name of Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams came along.
I love that cover. Oh, that's so good.
Yes, it's the Joker was not scary anymore. So they decided to return to more of the Dark Knight roots. And again, you could still do that without Batman being a complete psycho. And he could still wear blue and gray and still be in some serious comics. That's one of the classic covers of all time.
Yes, they kind of because Batman, when he was first made, he went through villains, didn't he? He didn't have his no-kill rule, if I remember correctly, and the Joker wasn't supposed to be more than a one-shot villain.
Yeah, pretty much. And pretty much that's the way they didn't really, at that time, there were no established supervillains either. The superheroes were barely established. Mm-hmm. No one really thought they were going to have established supervillains. That's also one of the things that they just started to happen. It wasn't in any kind of a plan or anything. But yes, Michael Pico makes a good point. Lost in Space was another one that was affected by Batman. But go ahead.
No, I was just saying, you're right. It just sort of evolved that way. But I'm glad it did because Batman has one of the best rogue villain groups. He's got such good villains.
You and I have talked about that. Who has the
we
best
have.
rogues galleries and stuff and villains, and yes. But this is why Batman became more than he escaped the campy. I don't like the word campy much, but whatever, the corny, the more silly image. And this did it. The Joker's 5-Way Revenge, O'Neill and Adams, and again, Julius Schwartz. This shows you the idiocy. We're not going to talk about the Batman movie too much, but I don't have that. I don't have that picture that Mark D showed me the other night. Mark, I don't know if you could send it, if you get a chance, send it to me. They did an acknowledgments. I don't need to show it at the end in the end credits.
Yes, I saw that. I waited and watched the credits.
I talked about it, how they had a lot of names that were from Batman history that I don't think had anything to do with this movie per se, but they were there, which is, I guess, is all fine and good. But they didn't put Julius Schwartz, which just tells I don't think Julius Schwartz was there, Mark. If you could let me know. But and I'm going that, which goes to show you got these idiots who put those up there and knew nothing about comics history. They were just putting those up there to make it look like they were saying thank you to all these people who participated with Batman. Sean, what's up, bro? Good, Decepticon. Good to see you, my friend. But to not have Julius Schwartz on there was unconscionable. But anyway, we got back to the Dark Knight Detective. And I don't know purple, but have I? And I always love this cover right here. Good God!
Oh, that's good.
It's one of the great covers right there. Have I ever told you about the 3 phases of Batman?
I don't think so. No. If you have, maybe mentioned it, but I don't think we've ever gone into detail about it.
I went through what you call, and other fans I know have too. Some maybe have not, by the way. I'm not saying everyone does, but as a Batman fan, I went what I call the 3 phases of Batman as a fan. Which were, I grow as a child, this is not comedy, which was a comedy show. It's serious. It's gospel. This is serious as a heart attack, this show. I took it seriously. I believed it. It was not funny to me. It was real life because I was a kid, and that was Batman. That's what Batman was. Then, started reading a lot more about him. And eventually, when we get to this point, when I got, and started getting into my teens, which is a good bit after this comic book, but I'm using it as an example. When we finally start to realize this is more what Batman's origins are, because look, I love the silly Batman, but this is Batman, the Dark Knight Detective. This is really what he is, what he was supposed to be, what he was conceived of. At the time, comics were very dark in the golden age. I started to like, as someone getting older, that appealed to me more. And I was mad at the TV show. Phase 1, the TV show's gospel. Phase 2, cool, badass Dark Knight Detective is awesome. But the TV show was making fun of Batman. I was getting to my teeth. They made fun of Batman. I don't like that anymore. I can't believe they ever watched that, man. Because look how cool Batman is now. Look at this cover.
By Robin.
By Robin. Look how cool it is now.
Oh, Ra's al Ghul.
This is so cool. And so in this era, growing up reading these comics,
Probably anyone would think you didn't like Robin with all the dead Robins you've got.
And I actually do love Dick Grayson. Dead Robin. Oh, thanks, Mark. I appreciate that, bro. I didn't mean for you to have to do that, dude. But if you could just tell me if Julius Schwartz is on there or not, that's all I need to know. But I'll look at it in a second. So look how cool this is. That TV show lied to me. Even the Power records were cool. Look at that Neil Adams art. Although Catwoman's costume's a little weird with the long pants there, but
Yes, but I preferred the dress, and she didn't wear a cape anymore. But I love that look.
Thanks, Mark. No Schwartz. Just the Schwartz is not with them. So look how cool Batman is. You're not supposed to make fun of Batman. He's a badass. I love this Dick Giordano cover right here. Just your boy there, hungry boy, Dick Giordano, man. So I'm in phase 2 right now. This is stage 2 of Batman fandom for me. This, covers like this. That's one of my all-time favorite covers, by the way. Along comes Englehart and Rogers, and adds to what O'Neill and Adams did. This short run here by Englehart and Rogers has been referred to as the definitive Batman. Rightly so. Look, I mean, look at that Eagleheart, beautiful. Marsha Rogers, Terry Austin art right there.
That is
Look at
cool. I
that.
love that.
It's gorgeous, man. This is. I have the portfolio, and I have them framed on my wall still of these. It's from this. It's not exactly that. So, I mean, this is Batman to me now. I love that Earth 2 Robin costume, by the way. I see Robin's alive on that one.
Yes, it's Jason Todd you don't like, isn't it?
Yep.
Dick Grayson's fine.
Yes. Dick Grayson I love. I don't like Jason much. And I hate Damien. That's another argument.
Yes.
This is one of the greatest. This is a really great issue right here. I love it. And I love this cover for obvious reasons because it's ridiculous. It's hilarious. Like, well, and to think I killed him. Batman died 1977. May rest in peace. Burn in hell. And then I'm in phase 2 right now where I'm loving the cool ass Batman. This, by the way, is my origin of choice for Batman. If you've not read this one, anyone, Untold Legend of the Untold Legend of Batman. Untold Legend of the Batman. I think Len Wein, John Byrne drew the first issue with Aparo inking, then Aparo did the issues 2 and issues 2 and 3. Look at that! I love that. I love that. That's by Byrne, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah. So see, I'm in phase 2. You're not supposed to make fun of Batman.
No, Batman's serious.
And then I got older. I got into the late teens, and I started watching the show again and the movie again, and everyone. Hello there, everyone. If I miss anyone, and then I started realizing how funny and clever the show was, and now, of course, I love it. And so by the time I met Adam West, I'm in my early 20s. I'm at phase 3. I realized that you could make fun of Batman because in life we can make fun of ourselves and we can make fun of anything, even we use humor. So nobody's above ridicule or parody or mockery. So you can have a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. And so I love the TV show for its cleverness and the dopey, silly stuff, just as I love the wonderful show Batman, the Brave and the Bold, which we'll mention later. Yes. But even knowing that this is what Batman's supposed to be. Michael Bingham says, went through the same phases, but heard Tom talking about it, how it was satire, not camp, and rewatched the 66 movie again today. I'm going to watch that tonight. I love it. Mm-hmm. I've watched it so many times.
I'd agree with that. And the thing about the 66 show is, yes, it was funny and it was campy, but it wasn't mean humor. They weren't making fun of the characters. They were doing it in a loving way.
No, exactly. And it was very faithful to the comics of the time, like we just showed.
Mm-hmm, it was.
So when I got to phase 3 of my late teens and realized, you're being an idiot. It was a funny show. Batman can be all of these things. And that's what I talk about. I'm not going to poke fun at the Bat Bros too much tonight, but the Bat Bros are the one who are stuck in the mode that Batman has to be overly dark, has to be a complete a-hole to everybody all the time, and you can't even laugh at him. So, Brave and the Bold, the TV show, or the or the sillier versions of older comics, or the Batman TV show with Adam West, are somehow blasphemy. To hell with that. So look at that, some lovely Batman art here.
That is cool. I really like that. So I do like the black and the grey, I've got to admit.
Yeah, I do. I could take that's. In fact, that's a good point. To answer we've seen all this blue and gray, but to answer you, when it's black and gray like this, I'm fine with it.
Yes.
And I love this Alex Ross piece right here, Batman at Christmas time.
Everybody else is having fun, and he's
Batman's like, watching. I hate Christmas. And then along comes Batman the Animated Series.
Yes.
We're not talking much about live action movies. I'm talking mostly tonight Batman. I consider everyone. I'll mention a little bit, but I consider live action Batman movies to be Batman for dummies, or if you want to be nice, Batman for normies. Batman exists as a comic book character, and the close cousin to that is animation. Not that I don't. Obviously, we've already talked about. I like some of the Batman, live action stuff here and there. I love the Adam West one, of course, but for me, I'm sticking mostly with pictures from comic book art and stuff like that tonight because that's what Batman is. For me, just for me.
I would agree with that. And this show, I think, holds up as being one of the best animated shows of all time. I remember sitting down and watching this for the first time when I was a kid and being absolutely blown away by how good the animation was. And I was even back then too young to kind of really appreciate it. I just knew that I loved what I was seeing. And then we had this amazing voice cast that brought the characters to life, and the style of it, where Paul Dini's art and Bruce Timm its characters, it was just perfect. I still love rewatching the show.
It's just magnificent, and Mad Love was just a great one, actually adapted from a comic that they did before the show. And look at this. This is my autograph. My autograph from the Batman himself,
Kevin Conroy.
Kevin Conroy.
Yes, I'm hoping to meet him next month at a convention.
He's got cool greatness. He's a nice fellow, and getting to meet him and talk to him like that, he'll just do that just for the hell of it. I'm Batman. He is the Bat, and he was really nice to sign this for me. Nice fellow. And then, of course, if we do talk about Batman cinema for a second, there's no better Batman ever on a movie screen than this one. Mask
of the Phantasm, yes. That's one of the things that I wish I could have seen on the big screen. If they ever do bring this back, I will get tickets to see it.
It only played a couple of weeks in '94 when it ran. I bought my kids both times, and I was just so excited about it. I just love this movie. It's my favorite Batman movie to play on a big screen, and that's including 66, which, by the way, I was too young to see that in the theaters when it first came out, but in the late 70s I did get to see it on a big screen when they brought it back. So and so my favorite movies on a big screen that have been Batman are this one in 66. But yes, that's a great movie, powerful movie, love it. And I make fun of the Bat Bros by when they make statements like Batman beat Galactus. The Batman worship. Now, Batman's not an idiot. Batman would not even try. I mean, he wouldn't say, "I'll kick your ass if you don't get out of here, Galactus." It's just, again, I'm hoping this was drawn as a joke. Batman would find a way to get him by getting help because he's not a moron.
Yes. He would
go
use
find
his
Reed
intellect.
Richards. Yes. If he couldn't cross dimensions to the Marvel Universe and get Reed Richards, But I've always thought this was hilarious.
Galactus looks really, really pissed there. Like,
hey, Jay, man, good to see you. Thanks for hanging, buddy. Good. Thanks for being here, bro. But yeah, I've always thought this. I think Mark Waid, he's a nut, but he was just trying to be funny when he said Batman could beat Galactus.
Without context, I think that picture is pretty funny. I actually really like
funny.
that.
That's why I like it. I think it's hilarious. But this is either somebody being facetious and making fun of the Bat Bros, or I don't know. But Bat Bros will go, "Oh yeah, he can beat Galactus, anybody." All right, whatever. Batman could find a way to win anything, yes, but Batman is not going to punch Galactus. The Thing will punch Galactus, and he knows that it doesn't do him any good.
But he'll do it anyway. Exactly.
I got to burn that picture now. Hungry Boy does not like that one. And then you can get the lighter stuff because Batman the Brave and the Bold is my happy place.
Yes, you love Brave and the Bold, don't you?
I love it so much. Look at all those ridiculous versions of Batman. That's my point. Batman is just versatile.
I've got to admit, I didn't like it when I first watched it because I didn't appreciate it for what it was. But subsequent watching, I've really got a love for it because, like you say, it's similar to the 66. It kind of pokes fun at it, but it does it in such a a loving way. It's kind of an homage, so you can't help but enjoy what you're watching.
Absolutely. And the animated series was a miracle. First cartoon to take the comics seriously, in my opinion. Sorry, Super Friends. Well, I love Super Friends, but you're right. Paved the way to other shows to do the same. Absolutely. I got my issue. I have a lot of issues with dumb stuff that Bruce Timm has done and said, but he did something. He said some wonderful things there, including we got this show because of him too, even though he didn't do it. His people who worked for him, James Tucker, Michael Jelenic, who did this show. Look, this show was created to sell toys in 2008 when the Dark Knight came out, the Nolan Dark Knight film.
Yes.
This is something that, again, swinging back to this movie that's out right now. And to me, it is unconscionable that we have a movie playing in theaters about Batman that you can't take little kids to see.
Yes, that's one of the things I noticed from when I was there. It was all adults. Obviously, it was for us. It's rated 15. I'm not sure what the rating you guys got in the
I'm not
US.
sure. I'm not sure.
But there were no. I don't think there was anybody. There were no teenagers there. It was all adults.
But would you tell somebody if they said, "Hey, can I bring my 8-year-old?" I'd say no. I don't know about you.
I'd say no, and not just because of the content. I don't think that they'd enjoy it. It's too adult.
Well, Michael Beacom, we have to respectfully disagree. The Super Friends were life to me. That for when they first came on in 1972, 73, whatever it was, I've adored them all my life. I love them. I camped out in front of with a tent in front of my TV that night before after I saw the previews of it on that, and couldn't wait. And I've loved it ever since. So we can't agree on everything, buddy. Love me some Super Friends. But yes, see, Purple, I would have, again, I'm sorry. I know we all love the dark stuff, and I think they can go overboard with it. But these characters were originally created for kids and younger boys, and then even girls, but younger people. Superman, Batman, people like characters like that. Again, that dark stuff. However, if you're going to do it in 2008, I've got to give Warner some credit here. The Nolan movie isn't quite as disturbing, but it still is, though. It's not that. The two, that and the Batman, it's not that much. But the Batman is not that much scarier or darker, really, is it? Because there's some dark stuff in Dark Knight.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's darker. I think it's just more adult in tone. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've got a lot more of Batman being the detective side rather than the superhero that I think kids would gravitate towards. We've had a lot of superhero films like the MCU, but it's bright and flashy and there's lots of fighting. But with the Batman, it's a lot more toned down. It's a noir film.
But what I'm basically saying is you couldn't, in 2008, you really weren't going to bring little kids to see that either. So in preparation for that, they got with the Cartoon Network and Bruce Timm and all of his people were make us a cartoon that we can sell to the kids and we can make toys and stuff. That's all we want to do. And they happened to put it in the hands of a guy who loves loves DC and especially Silver Age DC Comics. Hello there, Jack's mama. Good to see you. Thank you for being here, my dear. I hope you're doing well. So we got out of it. A guy got a chance to do what he called a love letter to Silver Age Comics, and they got their little toy merchandising show. They didn't care. And to me, I've always said this show was for 8-year-olds and 50-year-old 8-year-olds.
It brings out the kid in you, doesn't it? Do you have any of the figures from the show?
I didn't get them. I wish I had.
Just curious.
I want the bat. You know what I want the most is the Batmobile because it turns into the bat plane. It does both. It transforms into Michael French has it, and it's amazing. I wish I got it, but no, I didn't get any of the figures. At the time, I didn't. I didn't really think they were that great at the time, even though I loved the show. Now I would probably go back and grab them if I saw them. But I love this show for all. Again, the same way I love the Adam West show. It's very similar in the sense that it's clever. It does not talk down to you. A guy who read comics in the 60s or 70s and loved them can watch it and get a kick out of all the references. He can watch it with his 10-year-old or his 12 or whatever his kid, and the kid could just like the fun of it. And it's just really intelligent. A lot of great voice work. I love it.
And there were some quite adult episodes as well, even though
there were
more aimed towards kids. Some of them were.
Oh yeah, Chill of the Night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was one. There were a couple that were pretty. I mean, yeah, it was. That was no question about it. But yeah, it was pretty good. Again, I love that, and so that's kind of a basic rundown of the importance of Batman to me. In other words, everyone's talking about these movies. The movies I mentioned them on and off. But as far as, and we'll have some more pictures in a minute. But as far as that's concerned, the that's like a rundown of history where Batman sort of a slight linear history. I left some things out that were more brutal that don't matter as much, like Miller and all and Nightfall and all these other things that have happened to Batman that people love so much, and No Man's Land and Hush, and none of that
Yeah,
stuff means anything to me.
I've got to admit, I have a real soft spot for No Man's Land. I'm a big fan of Dixon, so
Mm-hmm.
that's actually one of my favorite stories.
I remember, oddly, my favorite Dixon story is one people don't think about that much. I got to mention it to him I did get to mention it to him once when we were on a stream together. Was Batman Devil's Advocate.
Yes.
That was really good. Great story, I thought. But yeah, Batman is a wonderful and a very visual character. Do you have? I mean, well, let's see. I'll put you on the spot for favorite. Do you have a favorite of the movies? And then I want to know what your favorite, if you have a couple favorite comics and animated versions.
I for live action films, I will always go back to the '89 Batman. It's the one, and the sequel. I love Batman Returns as well. I love the style that we had from it. I really like Michael Keaton. I thought he did a good Batman. Not the best Bruce Wayne, but I really liked it. I thought Danny DeVito, when we had him as the Penguin, was fantastic, and Michelle Pfeiffer was beautiful as Catwoman. So I thought, and we hadn't had Batman for a long time on the big screen, so when it was brought back, it really kind of cemented it in my mind. I like the Nolan films. I like what he did with them. I thought The Dark Knight was the best of them. I didn't like the third film. I thought they were trying way too hard
Yeah.
at that point.
Oh yeah.
But for the animated, I will always go back to the Batman animated series. It's one of the TV shows that had a huge impact on me growing up. It's one that I can, go back to anytime, put, a random episode on, and I know I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. What was the first comics of Batman that you read?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, to be honest. I can't remember the actual comic. I know I picked up a lot of the Batman animated comics when they came out.
Okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
To coincide with the cartoon, as I really
Yes.
enjoyed those. But 24/7 will probably absolutely hate me for saying this. What I mostly pick up is trades. It's graphic novels.
Dare you? Hey, Bugwaddle.
I know. For shame.
Damn it, Purple. Well, that's just so horrible of you. But hey, no, look, there's so many. There are good compilations there. So you're not exactly sure when you first started reading comics, but you've read a few of them. I know.
Yes, I've read a lot over the years. I mean, when you pick them up, you always go to the obvious ones. Everybody picks up The Killing Joke. I love things like Gotham by Gaslight. I liked Batman Arkham Asylum, Serious House on Serious Earth. I really loved Contagion. I like No Man's Land because I'm a big fan of Chuck Dixon. I just kind of picked up the ones that thought kind of told his story, and I like a lot of the Elseworld books as well, which some people don't seem to like, but I like them.
No, I like some of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Things like Crimson Mist, for example. I thought that was pretty cool.
I don't think I don't know that one. I don't
It's
think I've read it. I haven't read it.
The vampire one. It's
okay, got you.
Yeah.
Then you probably look. What was the other vampire one? Now, it wasn't Crimson Mist, but there was another vampire one.
Yes, I know we've got.
I can't remember the name of it now, but I know it wasn't.
Yeah, and we've got Batman Nosferatu, which I think was one of the under the Elseworlds as well.
Yeah. Okay. Because another one, I can't remember the name of that Batman with the vampire one, but I will say that even on Batman Brave and the Bold, if you look at this picture, I think he's on there, the Batman one from the Elseworld. There he is. They got a vampire Batman on there. Oh, yep. Batmite made him. It's tough. Other than obviously the TV show and the cartoon, I couldn't nail down the first Batman comic I read either, to be honest. But it's just, and now that I've read so many, they're it's a blur. All the ones I've read, but I've read all the ones I want, though. That's for sure. I'm trying to think. Yeah, Killing Joke. Let's see what Michael Beacom says. They have destroyed so many of the comics with animated adaptations. Oh God, yeah, the Killing Joke one was
Hmm.
terrible. Gotham
Yes.
by Gaslight. I heard Gotham Gaslight was bad. I didn't see that one.
Yeah, and that's a shame because I really like that story. I haven't watched the animated take on it because everybody
Oh,
said it's so bad.
yeah. They say don't do it. So you best off
Hmm.
not taking a look at it. I've heard that about a lot of those.
I like the Long Halloween, at least part one. I thought that was pretty good. Part two, not so
Oh
much.
boy, part two was so bad. I mean, I like you, even I, except for one or two things, like part one. And
Hmm.
again, obviously thinking, okay, maybe part two will be pretty good. And ooh,
Yeah, not so much.
Catwoman: The Long Halloween. That's what it should have been called.
Mm.
It's so bad.
And if they
And
want to tell a Catwoman story, they can. They can do the
yeah,
sequel, which is Catwoman When in Rome, which tells her story.
all fine and good. We'd all like to see that, but if you could do a Batman movie, do a damn Batman movie.
Hmm.
I mean, he was a kind of a wimp in the first part too, but he was an invalid in the second part.
Yes, yeah.
Oh my
It
god, it was
was
terrible.
weird. It was so strange.
Oh, so bad. All right, Jax Mama, thank you, my dear, for coming by, and it's great to see you.
Good
Thanks.
night.
Have a wonderful night there. Um, I just well, I have some more pictures for us actually. Let's see here. If I can remember how to do it like I did last time when we were.
Whilst you're pulling that up, let me put you on the spot. We've talked about
Yes, go
Batman
for it.
as a hero and why we love him. What about the villain? Do you have a favorite villain that you love to see?
My favorite Batman villain. I hate to be like the crowd, but when he is handled properly, um, are you seeing that, by the way?
Yep, see that. Looks good.
Oops, I hit the wrong button. I hate to do it, but the Joker is not only my favorite. He's one of the top two greatest villains of all time,
Hmm.
regardless of which character, because of he is such a great antithesis to Batman. I mean, he's such a great antithesis to Batman. You can still see it. There's those pictures up there because I can't
Yeah,
tell.
looks fine.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, good.
looks all good. Yeah.
Good. Just we'll look at we're gonna look at while we're talking about Batman. We're gonna look at some Batman covers and other things, folks. Uh so God, I love Jim Aparo Batman covers.
So is
Um,
this the first
he,
appearance of Talia?
no,
No.
this is
Okay.
this is good while after it.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, but the yeah Joker. Yeah. You want to think of a good. I mean, I love Two Face. I love Ra's al Ghul. Um, I don't consider Catwoman necessarily a villain. She's a foil, but so. And I love when Riddler is handled well. And I never was the biggest whack whack penguin guy. I mean, never really cared about
Yes.
Penguin much.
I was never a big
Um,
Penguin fan. I really like
yeah.
Scarecrow. He's one of my
Yes. Oh,
favorites.
yes. Thank you, Scarecrow. Scarecrow. Thank you. That's a great one. Not. Here's a shock for you. I don't know if you'll be shocked, but I'm not a big Bane guy, to be honest. I never liked Bane that much. I like Chuck Dixon fine. Was never
Hmm.
much of a Bane fan because I don't like Nightfall. I don't think Batman needed his back broken just to sell a bunch of funny books, and that's all it was done for. Don't really care much for the Killer Croc types. The animated series made me like certain characters better because of how well they were handled. For example, I liked I didn't care much for him what little I saw him in the comic book, but I liked the ventriloquist.
Yes, Ventriloquist was done really good, and Mr. Freeze was done brilliantly in the animated series.
Yes, and again, here's another one. Mr. Freeze originally was called Mr. Zero or whatever. I
Hmm.
never really cared that much for Mr. Freeze, if you know what I'm saying. It was okay. I mean, it was funny on the TV show, and when they put him on, in fact, when they put him on animated series, I was like, oh, really? I don't know about all that, but they just handled him beautifully. And then he
They
was
did, yeah. They did very well with the animated series with the villains. They brought them to life. And I think we've talked about it before. I think a lot of that comes down to the voice actors that they chose for the characters as well, which was
A lot of it.
yeah.
A lot of it is that. For example, another one that I thought was just goofy, never any good, other than being funny on the TV show played by David Wayne, was Mad Hatter. But he was great. Roddy, I mean, he was
Roddy
great
McDowell.
as much as Roddy McDowell on the
Yep.
animated series.
And I think we
He was
mentioned it in
perfect.
the green room. John Glover playing Riddler was
John
perfect as
Glover,
well.
brilliant, brilliant. Yeah, Alan Grant created a new wave of cool. Yeah, Alan Grant. See, I guess he did, but didn't Grant do? Hello there, J25 and Trevor Cunningham. Good to see you. Didn't Grant do Black Mask? Or was it Doug Mensch? Maybe it was Mask. I didn't like Black Mask. I never liked Black Mask. I thought he was crap. Personally,
Hmm.
that's just me.
And Hungry Boy says Man-Bat. We don't get enough Man-Bat. I like that character.
We'll see Man Bat in a minute, but I love Man Bat. Yes, yes. Is he a villain? He's kind of like a tragic character, but yes.
I think so. Yeah, he's kind of a tragic character, but I really like the character.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Kirk Landstrom. Yep.
Kirk Langstrom is an interesting character, though. That's for sure. What am I doing here? I'm having issues with my.
I really like that Christmas cover. That's awesome. The one that you've got up at the moment, where they're coming out of like a
Oh, yeah.
Jack in the Box.
I was trying.
Hello, yeah.
I was busy checking the stream to see screen to see if this is if what the picture looks like there. Okay, that's fine.
It looks good. Yeah, it looks fine.
Okay, you can see it over. Okay, because I can't really check. Thank you. Everyone seeing the pictures okay? You know how nervous I am with these stupid.
No, it looks good. Honestly, it looks really good.
But yes, I love. Still looks good.
Still looks good.
Okay, just making sure. Again, here's another thing about Batman that really people don't talk about that much. You know, they went back to him being the badass Dark Knight detective a lot. Thank you, J.D. Lewis. I thought it was mentioned. Without going after Frank Miller, really, and after some of the other stuff in the 90s, there was this tendency to make Batman into too much of an a-hole. And there's where the Bat Bros come in. The Bat Bros who just think he's and I love Batman as much as they do, but they want him to be he's badass, and that means he's rude. He's badass. It means he's a jerk to people all the time, even his friends.
Mm-hmm.
And they got Morrison was a big offender on that, and a lot of writers, late 90s, into the mid 90s, late 90s, just like on the animated series, he was pretty terse, and he was pretty no nonsense. But even he wasn't completely a jackass. He was just trying to get the job done. He was no nonsense type. Yes. Well, for some reason, because it was kind of cool, they ran overboard with it. At this point, you'll still see a comic book or two where Batman can be deadly serious most of the time. Love this cover here.
That is cool.
But he wasn't quite a complete jerk off like he was in the 90s. Bat Bros, basically Michael Beacom, they're these strange subset of people that they're fans. They love Batman, but they worship him like zealots, and you could never. He's completely perfect, and they never want him to be fallible in any way. And he's just, I don't. It's a little bit weird. There's an episode of Batman, the Brave and the Bold, that kind of does a great parody of them, called something that was something of the Dark Knight. The one with a Batman episode is great. Love this Jim Aparo cover right here.
Oh, that is cool. I like that.
Two Jokers. So let's just look at some Batman covers, shall we?
Yeah.
And any questions anyone has? Well, Mike Grell cover here.
I always thought that was a ridiculous cover, but I love it.
Yeah. I always like this one. You know, as you know about me, Purple, I can look at covers all day. Just you look at old comic book covers and never get tired of it. That's my happy place. Some people go to the Louvre. You know, some people go to look at the Mona Lisa and other, and Van Gogh and all these wonderful serious artists. And I'm lowbrow as it gets, folks, because I can look at old Silver Age and particularly Bronze Age comic book covers and be happy and happy and happy, happy, joy, joy. I'm so simple. Easy to please. Aparo. I've trapped you in Batman's body, Superman. So when I kill him, you die, biatch. Oh my goodness. Okay, now I see. My screen checker thing was off. Sorry. Whoop. Just say catch it up here. There we go. So yeah, Aparo, great stuff. Clobberin Times, that's crazy. The reason why Batman is relatable in a way is because he's not perfect. Yes, but the Bat Bros kind of sprung up in the late 90s.
And did this spring up from, like you say, because they took a more darker, edgy kind of take on the character?
Yes, they. Oh, good. Right. Let me tell you something. Thank you, Decepticon. Good to see you there, buddy. So how do I say this without being crude? I can tell you the Bat Bros this weekend was the closest that a Bat Bros going to get to. Never mind. I'll let you fill in the blanks there. They are at the theater right now as we speak. There are features of that movie. Certain parts of the theater. Never mind.
Are you implying that this film brought out the worst in some of the Batman fans, Clobby?
The dark, just like so did the other ones, so the Ben Affleck ones, and the even the Nolan ones. Even if I'm not saying I don't like those, I'm saying the darker, the more brooding, the more edgy, the more disturbing, the better for the Bat Bros. You know, and so they're pretty happy right now, and God bless them. I'm glad they're happy. Let's see, one of two. One of the beauties of Batman is that the very framework of his universe allows for so many different types of stories. Agreed, yes. Ranging from crappy ass gangster garbage, which I can't stand, all the way to sublime universal horror movie stuff like the Rogers Clayface issues. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and Clayface on the animated series is pretty crazy too, but really good.
Yes, I remember that animated sequence where he's changing rapidly, and that actually scared me when I was a kid.
Yes. Hey, like this one, the Mad Hatter. Look at all 1,000 different hats when the Mad Hatter strikes.
See, Mad Hatter's one of those characters that writers don't seem to know what to do with sometimes.
And not really until the animated series.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and it was funny on the West show, because he's, of course, like in comics, he's the Mad Hatter, so it's all about hats. Well, on the animated series, it's about Alice in Wonderland.
Yes.
And it's about him being a nut, and using psychological. I mean, one of the greatest episodes of that series, Perchance to Dream,
mm-hmm.
Was the Mad Hatter.
Yes.
I love that one.
Yes, when he basically traps him inside his own, what would be the perfect life. And he says to him, I was willing to give you any life you wanted just to keep you out of mine.
Yes. Yes. Now, there's a good thing. Since we both love the animated series, do you have, and not to put you on the spot too bad, do you have like a top three maybe, or if you don't know Biggie, or you could say one favorite, but if you have 2 or 3 favorites, it doesn't have to be in any kind of order. If you want to name off a couple of your favorites of that, because that's always a fun topic. That show, it's not easy to pick the tops, but
you mean episodes?
Yes.
I always like the introduction of the Riddler because I really like what they did with him. I think it was if you're so smart, why aren't you rich? If I remember correctly,
that was great.
Yeah, and that was one of those characters that they could have done really badly, but because they actually took their time and they actually wrote riddles for him, he works really well. And as we said, the voice made a huge difference. Having John Glover portray this character,
it was great.
I liked On Leather Wings because it was a really good episode. I thought it was a quite a tragic episode. Trying to think what else do I like.
Keely Chow, hey, Roll Tide.
Heart of Ice, I thought was great.
Oh yes. Mm-hmm. By the way, we were talking about Clayface. Great Alan Moore story about Clayface in this issue. But let's see here. So you've said Riddler uh, episode, the first one. If you're so smart, why aren't you rich?
Mm-hmm.
What was the next one again? You said, damn it,
On Leather Wings.
Leather Wings. God, that was so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then Heart of Ice, because of how well they portrayed his character.
Feel free to name others, by the way, if you got a few more. If not, no biggie.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember. I might have to actually pull up a list because I can't remember the.
I'll name a couple.
Yeah.
I'll give you probably my favorite and it'll be the easiest to guess in the world because it'll be sentimental, I guess. I think my favorite is Beware the Gray Ghost.
Yes, with Adam West.
Adam West, yeah. Duh. There you go. There's your man bat, by the way, with a Joe Kubert cover and all this. It's a Perro, but it looked like Joe Kubert drew Batman on there. I know it's a Perro, by the way, everyone. I used to joke that it was Kubert because a friend of mine and I used to argue about it because it looked like Batman's figure was actually drawn by Joe and not Jim Aparo. But anyway, I'm sorry, being stupid. Good.
Oh no, I love that. Nothing to Fear, I think was a good one.
Nothing to fear. Oh yeah, there was a Scarecrow.
Scarecrow. Yep. That's one of them. I'm trying to remember. Oh God, what's the one where he thinks he's killed Batman?
The man who was it? The man who killed
Batman.
Batman.
Man who killed Batman. Yes, with Sid the Squid. Yes.
Classic. Joker was not happy. Joker was pretty upset with him because he thought he killed Batman, which is terrific, by the
way. The other episode with Scarecrow that I liked was Dreams in Darkness, where he ends up in Arkham Asylum.
Oh, yeah.
That was a pretty good one. That was quite a dark episode as well. And if we're going to go a bit funnier, a bit lighter, Almost Got Him. Where
I was about to name that one, my second favorite.
Yeah, where they're all sitting around telling stories.
That's probably my number 2, if not number 1. It's tough to pick, but Almost Got Him is brilliant. And it just, oh God, it was so funny. I cracked him down and then I hit him with a rock. I threw a rock at him. It was a big rock. Great. I don't even like Croc, but Croc was funny on that. They did good stuff with Croc. Again, they took characters I didn't even like and did good things with them. I never was the big Killer Croc kind of fan, but they made him work.
Mm-hmm, they did, yes. And they brought in characters, obviously, that became kind of staples in the comics as well. You know, Harley Quinn first was introduced in the animated series. She didn't exist before then.
Yep. By the way, did you know that Batgirl? This was probably her first appearance, but she really was going to be on the TV. She was made for the TV. Put in the comic, made for the TV show. But anyway, yeah, I love this cover.
That's a great cover.
Jim Aparo as Black Canary. Oh, I love that outfit for some reason. Can't imagine why. Michael Beacom says, Purple Valkyrie, Arkham Asylum graphic novel. Love when Two-Face says, take his mask off. Let's see his real face. And the Joker points at the cowl and says, that is his real face. Yeah, that is.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you, Michael Beacom, because you reminded me of a great episode that we have to talk about. That's probably my number 2 or 3 or 4 up in there, and that's Trial.
Yes, Trial. Yeah, and we even had a little nod towards Trial in one of the Nolan films, didn't we? If I remember correctly.
I think they did, but I'm trying to remember.
Yes, because it's Scarecrow is the judge, whereas it would have been in the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it would have been Joker had we still had Heath Ledger.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go. That was funny. And again, that episode, old hanging judge Joker. I mean, what I would like that stricken at one point during the proceedings. I would like that stricken from the records. Record? Is someone supposed to be writing this down? And it was so great when she says, "We pronounce you not guilty. You made a great case of it, counselor. You've proven that even without Batman, we'd have ruined our own worthless lives. And so we are so rotten and depraved, we're going to waste you anyway." But my favorite bit is when she knocks out the light. And they said, he's scrambling all over the place. Hey, wait, don't let him get away. He goes, who says I'm leaving? And he's just so fearless, man. He didn't get a room full of him. He didn't care. He could take him. He's Batman. In the Wildcat and the Joker again. The Brave and Bold. I'm planning some videos and some shows about some Purple. This comic, of course, is not like that cartoon much. This comic, guys, this was not Batman from the. And I talked about this when I did I did some shows recently or a while back about all the different team up books.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The Batman in this comic was not the Batman in the regular comic, nor was the Batman in Justice League at the time or in World's Finest the same guy in this regular series, because there's no way he had ever enough time to do any of this kind of stuff. And these episode issues like this written by Bob Haney, I'm planning to do a special on Bob Haney, are some of the most it's a cliche, batshit crazy things you're ever going to see in your life.
In a good way or a bad way?
In a lovely way, because I mean, bonkers, funny, crazy. I can't even properly describe how insane this era, the Bob Haney era of Brave and the Bold was. They used to call Bob Mr. Continuity because he threw continuity to the wind, didn't give a crap about it. One issue, some crap would happen. The next one would totally contradict it. He would write things that made no sense. He would write and he and the guy editing it, they called it Earth B later because they were trying to call these Earth Bs. Murray Boltinoff and Bob Haney, and they would write these stories. Sometimes they would do a story for no reason. It would be Batman during World War II. Then later it's back in normal time. You team up with Sergeant Rock. Wildcat here has 15 different origins because of them. It is a mess, this character. Wildcat alone was totally. And again, I'm not doing it justice because I've told a few people here and there. I was rereading one. Man, I don't know if I have that cover. If I don't, I'm going to find that cover. I got a cover to show you with from Brave and the Bold. Yes, Neil Adams cover there. I love Dead Man. That's another underrated character that they could do something with him.
Don't see him very often, do you?
No, not a lot. It's interesting. They did a great. They handled what little he was on that one Justice League episode. He was great on that, and on Brave and the Bold.
Yeah, I remember that.
I love Dr. Fate. See, in the Batman, those credits I was telling you about, those acknowledgments, they had Jim Apato's name, which he deserves to be acknowledged, but I don't know what he had to do with that movie.
Yeah, it just seemed like they picked, the most popular or the most well-known names to acknowledge. Because I was trying to see how many people were listed.
Yeah, it was. Well, Mark showed me that picture. It's like they got a bunch of people. I'm like, and I see why this one's mentioned. I see why that one's mentioned. Whether I like them or not, I see why. Mm-hmm. And other ones, I'm like, huh? I mean, sure, whatever, guys, but I don't know. Now, have you ever read the Eaglehart Rogers definitive Batman run? It was a short issue in Detective Comics from Detective 472, I think, to 476 or something like that.
I don't think so.
There's a trade on it. I'll try to and I'll see if I can show you how you can, or show you which ones are. There aren't many, but this comic right here, this is the one. It's by Steve Englehart, Marshall Rogers, and Terry Austin. Rogers and Austin on the artwork. The reason why there was all these people this weekend were talking about a movie. The reason why there have been 11 or 12 live action Batman movies. The reason why there was a Batman live action movie in 1988 that started it all is because of this book right here, or this run right here. It caught the eye of a lot of people, a lot of producers. Michael Uslan being one of them, who still gets paid for anything with Batman's name on it, and Sam Register, another guy. They even at the time, after around 77 or 78 when this came out, or right after the short run, it was a short run with this creative team, but it had a lot of great stuff in it. By the time this was done, they had Hollywood working on scripts. It took a long while later, but there were scripts were circulated, rewritten by a couple of different people, including some names of some other pretty big script writers. Then Miller's Dark Knight put it over the top. But this was in Hollywood's, Batman was in Hollywood's radar again for the first time in over 10 years because of this. So, Englehart Rogers Batman, they called it the definitive Batman at the time, and it was critically acclaimed as the definitive Batman.
I'll have to check that out. I'm trying to remember. I do recognize it, but I don't think I have it.
Yeah, they later did some of these issues where I love these covers here, where they just wraparound covers where they adapted some of them or reprinted them.
You're a big fan of the wraparound covers, aren't you?
I love that. Yeah. You know what else I'm a fan of?
What's that?
Ridiculous ideas that turn out to be surprisingly good. And this one right here. I love the Batman Hulk team up. Fight me, everyone! No, most people like it. This is a good comic book. I know it's goofy. I know that. This is the third of the Marvel DC superhero crossovers. No, the idea is goofy. This comic works, and it's weird because the great Lin Wein wrote it, and I love the great Jose Luis Garcia Lopez art on the book. It's the third of the Marvel DC superhero crossovers. DC was in charge of this one. They took turns. DC did the first one. Marvel did the second one. I mean, they worked with each other, but this was DC. You would think, why in the hell would you do Batman teaming up with the Hulk? Why would you do that? Why? I said it. We're like, huh? When I heard about this, I'm like, because the first two were Superman, Spider-Man, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's no brainer. But it's a good comic, and of course the Treasury edition. So I love those. The big gigantic ones. But this is really good. It's a good story, and you think it's. I guess because it's the word versus makes it sound lopsided. But it's well done. It's a good Joker story, actually. And it has, it has one of my favorite Joker.
And there's been quite a few Marvel DC crossovers in the years, hasn't there? If I remember.
Oh yeah. This was but the third of the superhero ones. By the way, this has one of my favorite Joker kills. Joker kills. Joker kill henchmen. That trope of Joker killing a henchman every time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Let's see. I forgot. He was pissed off at one of his guys, so he took one of his flowers off and threw it up behind him, and the guy caught it, and the thorn got him. Smiling death. I forgot what he was pissed off from. Anyway, so yeah, I love it. But yes, they did this. Interestingly enough, after this, and much to my everlasting chagrin as a fan, the one planned after this didn't get done. It was going to be Legion of Superheroes and the X-Men. And it just so happened at the time that the New Teen Titans, which is a great comic at the time, very popular, was they were starting to get big, so they changed it to New Teen Titans and the X-Men. DC canceled its Garcia Lopez omnibus. Oh, damn, Matthew Pounder, that sucks, man. I hate them. I would want that. Not that I could afford it, but I would want it.
Yeah. Those omnibus are so expensive.
Oh, sometimes you can get a good deal on one if you wait long enough. If you can find them dirt cheap once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, they are up there. You're right. I have this portfolio. This is from that comic I was telling you about, Englehart Rogers Detective Run. In the late 80s, in the early 80s, excuse me, they came out with this portfolio with 4 different plates. I still have this framed on my wall, of course, and the other plates as well. One of the frames broke, but that's just the Laughing Fish. Batman Animated Series, by the way, did an episode where they combined the Joker's 5-Way Revenge, which we looked at earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And the Laughing Fish.
Yes, I've actually got a storyboard. One of the pieces of art up on my wall is the Laughing Fish.
Love it. Yeah. That's a great story. It's weird that they combined the two of them. Well, they did. They did the Laughing Fish for almost the whole story on the animated series. Then they ended it with the same thing in the Joker's 5-Way Revenge, where he fights the shark.
Yes.
And there's my popcorn machine.
Oh, yes. That's cool. I love that.
I just made some popcorn. It's worn out. That's the one I got it a year and a half ago. But yeah, but still, yeah, this was yeah, that episode was great though. Batman for Christmas.
I love how he's still dressed as Batman, but he's got the beard.
Yes. Ho ho ho. People, yeah, weird, wild stuff. This is nice. I mean, a nice poster by Alex Ross there.
I love Alex Ross's work.
Batman on the Shadow. World's finest. Remember when Superman and Batman were friends, everybody? I do.
Yeah, I remember that.
Batman Year One. This is pretty damn good.
Yes, and there's a lot of Year One influence in the new film.
Big time. It did a lot of damage, though.
Mm-hmm. I like Frank Miller, I do, but...
Oh, yeah. Me too. And that's what the movie should have been like, though. With that Batcopter thing. No, there we go. Polka Dot Man should have been in the movie, see? Instead of the Suicide Squad. Well, I remember how excited I was when I got this comic right here. Detective Comics number 500.
That's a great cover.
On the wraparound, yeah, there you go. This right here, the opening story in here called To Kill a Legend by Alan Brenner and Dick Giordano was one of the finest Batman alternate universe, kind of an alternate universe. Not really. Well, sort of was one. Stories that I've ever read. All the stories in there are kind of fun. You know, it's a big celebratory issue. But it has a great opening story. Anyone ever read To Kill a Legend by Alan Brenner? Great one. And wow. Need to pull that sucker out and read that again.
That's the great thing about going through these comics and looking at them. You realize and remember why you loved them in the first place.
Yes, it is, and that's why I'm having so much fun with these reviews. Like I said, last week Nick and I reviewed Daredevil Born Again, which I loved.
Yes, that was really good. I really enjoyed that.
Oh, thanks. And again, I hope if you and you've mentioned the comic, and so we need to do one because do that Doctor Strange. And I do believe you mentioned. I got to find it, of course. Which I will.
Yes, Triumph and Torment.
Yes, indeed. And then we got a couple of movie adaptations of the comics. Remember that?
Yeah, that comic I remember having.
Oh yeah.
That might actually be the first one I ever picked up. Actually,
really? Wow.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I know I had it. I don't think we've got it anymore. I think it got read to pieces. I think it just fell apart. But yeah, I remember having that.
That brings back so many memories because well, I had my comic shop at the time. I know Eric Case. Well, he's asleep, so he can't give me any trouble for my comic shop. The comic shop cabal. D-Bud, Eric's not here to pick on us for our comic shop talk there. Jerry Ordway did a nice job on it, but yeah, this was. I mean, look, leading up to this film, we were pretty excited. I mean, at first we were laughing. Michael Keaton, what the hell? Everybody was running, going, Michael Keaton. What, you know.
Yes, because he was mostly known for comedies, wasn't he, and kind of wacky characters.
Beetlejuice, Mr. Mom. He did a movie called Clean and Sober, which got him this part. And he did like One Good Cop. I think that was that before. I don't know if it was before or after, but anyway. But yeah, you just didn't think everyone liked him. Fine, you just didn't think of him as Batman, and it really was the suit. Let's be honest, because when he was Bruce Wayne, he don't look like Batman.
No, not at all.
But we were excited, and man, I had a big giveaway at my shop. A drawing for a complete Frank Miller Batman, which had all of Frank Miller's DC work for Batman in a hardcover that I gave away. I still have a picture of me giving that to some guy somewhere. I don't know what I did with it, but yeah. And so we were all pretty pumped about it after we started seeing some of the trailers right before the movie came out, and I still like it to this day. I mean, a lot of people. Some people don't like it. I've run into people sometimes that don't like it, like people, but I still do. And I like it.
I like it. I thought it was great. I love the style that it had. I like what they did with Gotham, and I really love the music. I thought the music was excellent.
Absolutely, and Nicholson played the Joker the way he's supposed to. I'm not the biggest Heath Ledger guy. I know everyone loves him, but man, he was great. It was a great performance and all, but I'm not sure that was what I want out of my Joker. And so, Nicholson. But this adaptation this thing is tiny. It's not the size of a comic book. It's like It
It's
came in the
yeah, it's
the
a mini.
videotape.
Yes, yeah, I've got this.
Zachariah, good to see you. This came in the VHS.
Back in the day when we had VHS, yeah.
Michael Beacom says what got him the part was when Burton took over in the last minute, and he needed someone he knew could rely on, and that was Keaton. Well, but a lot of people say that what got him approved was his proving his acting chops with Clean and Sober. That's a lot of people said that. So I don't. I know Burton was sold with that, but I don't know. Burton
Yeah.
also knew him through Beetlejuice. It's true.
Well, didn't Val Kilmer get the role after his portrayal in Tombstone, if I remember correctly, as well?
I don't know because I remember he got hired while he was still on the set of Tombstone.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, yeah. Batman Returns, and that was, of course, more of a regular size comic there.
Yeah, I still love that Batmobile. That's one of my
I
favorites.
do too. It's yeah, I still like that movie. And another wraparound cover of Neil Adams, Batman number 238, but this was in the reprint days. Spinner Rack Time Machine Fillers. Six. Hey there, beautiful Six.
Hey,
What's up?
Six. Hey, honey.
Always great to see you, my dear. Yeah, again, I'm a sucker for a crowded cover with the Legion on it.
I say, I bet you could name pretty much all of these characters, couldn't you?
Oh, easily. I mean, it's not even. I mean, I'll just take a glance at it right now. Yep, easy.
Yep.
I'd do it, but I'd be accused of showing off. So. Let's see here. But yes, I love him. What's the Legion? There's nothing to it. And Hungry Boy could. I don't know if he's a Legion fan, but Phantom Outsider's a Legion fan, so he could do it too. So, and Lord Thoth could do it.
Yes.
This. God, I have this, of course. I wish this. Now, this is also a wraparound, but I don't have the. Couldn't find it. But yeah. World's best comics before it became world's finest. Look at the Super Sons of Superman and Batman. This is Bob Haney I was talking about earlier. He did comics where Batman and Superman had Super Sons. And don't start making fun of those Super Sons, you guys.
I love these bizarre ones. I need to look into this more.
Oh God. Let me tell you, some of the craziest comics were written in the 60s and 70s. Yes. This was, of course, the World's Finest was originally World's Best Comics, one and number two. And they weren't really, by the way, these were very deceptive covers. It was many, many years later before they were even hanging out together inside the comic. But yeah, they weren't even by this point. This is right around the time when they first started actually talking to each other. Hey, that Robin's on the cover, but not Batman.
Yes.
Oh, this weird cover here. I always like this weirdo cover with those crazy colors.
That's bizarre.
Yes, indeedishness. Let's see. Well, I tell you what a bunch of fun it was. Oh, did I lose you? I lost Purple. She might have. Purple, you still there? Her internet might have blinked or something. Purple, if you're hearing me, don't worry. I'll be here to you. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Hey, sorry, it kicked me out.
Did I do that? Or
No, I think StreamYard's had a bit of a hiccup.
Oh, okay.
I was still talking, and then I looked up and realized I wasn't in.
Yeah, but see, when that happened, I was finishing up. I was still messing with the mouse, so I thought I did it for a minute. Like, oh no!
I don't think so.
Oh my goodness! Well, it is very late for you, my dear. And I mean, God, it's like 7 a.m. already. I know it's not really that, but I'm just close.
No, but I'm loving this at the moment. I'd love to get Batman. Hungry Boy said the Joker stole purple.
Well, there you go. You did that.
There we go. Yes, I managed to find the picture that we were talking about when we mentioned the special thanks. Yeah, so we've got Neil Adams, we've got Chuck Dixon, Bob Haney, Frank Miller's on there. Who else have we got? Scott Schreiber. Yeah, Greg Capullo.
All right.
Jeff Loeb.
Yeah, here's the thing about a lot of these Purple. Neil Adams, again, pertinent to the movie? I don't know. Pertinent to Batman history, definitely.
Yes, and that's kind of what I thought. They were just kind of who had, connections to Batman as a character rather than a nod to the film. But
I guess, but Marvel doesn't do that. So this DC might be doing that. Marvel does not. They don't do that.
No, they don't.
When I see their acknowledgments, I know what their connecting material is, the connective tissue from their material. Sort of like whether it's one of their dumb Disney shows, like WandaVision or whatever, Falcon or whatever, and all those stupid show. But when I see those acknowledgments, I know, okay, I get where they're coming from. Neil Adams has nothing to do with this movie, other than he brought back the Dark Knight Batman with Denny O'Neil, who's on there. So, and they're not they're not really alphabetical either. Each line is alphabetical.
Yeah,
4 lines.
Yeah, it was a strange one. I thought it was odd.
Yeah, Bob Haney. All right, look, Ed Brubaker again. I don't know what he did pertaining to Batman. Not much. He's more along the lines with Captain America, but he did some. I don't know. Chuck Dixon, absolutely. Again,
Yes.
Pertinent to Batman history, yes. To this movie, I don't know.
I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't. No, I mean, Sale and Loeb. I can see the connection to this film.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, but most of these guys, I couldn't directly link them to this.
No, I mean, again, because Julia Schwartz should be on there before any of these. All right, for example, again, I'll say Bob Haney, Batman history, yeah. This movie, no. Steve Lieber, Batman history, yeah. This movie, no. Frank Miller, movie, definitely. Because they've been stealing his crap forever. Jerry Robinson, no. I mean, Batman history, definitely yes. Jack Schiff, Batman history, yes. Jim Aparo, Batman history, yes. Greg Capullo, I don't know. He's too modern for me. Did he do some, hey, Grifter, how you doing? Halo, Snail Messiah. So, yeah, Greg Capullo, he's probably done some modern shit that was related to this crap, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Steve Englehart, Batman history, big time. This movie, no.
Well, Greg Capullo, it's going into the new 52, isn't it? And we know how you feel about that.
Yes, screw 52 all over this thing. All over. Ugh. You're right. You're absolutely right.
I hope it doesn't go in that direction. I know where they've kind of hinted what it might be going, but I really hope it doesn't.
It will. It will. I Kyle Higgins, don't even really know who that is. Jeff Loeb, obviously. Graham Nolan, obviously. Certainly the history. I don't know what he had to do with this movie. Marcia Rogers, history, but this movie, I don't know. Scott Snyder, yeah, they used a lot of his stupid poo-poo. Brian Azzarello can go, ooh, I did this the other night. I'm not going to do it again. Every time I see his name, I say really nasty things. I can't stand him. And I said, stop purple. You would be ashamed of me the other night when I said on my own show, granted, but I shouldn't have done it. It was really nasty, and I was.
I liked it. I was impressed.
Oh, I shouldn't do that. But I won't this time. Brian Azzarello. I don't know who Brown and Carlton is. I must admit.
No, I don't recognize.
Must be if I don't know their name, they're modern. Gary Frank. I don't know what he ever did do with that. Had to do with Batman. Well, Gary Frank's not only a Hulk artist. He's worked for DC. I like this Superman Secret Origin comic he did. But what did he have to do with Batman? Mazzucchelli, sure. Irv Novick, Batman history, yeah. This movie, I don't know. I mean, the guy didn't touch never drew a Batman comic, got to 1980. Greg Rucka, poo-poo, but I guess so, probably, I don't know. Dick Sprang, I mean, again, history, yes. Movie, no. I don't know who Lee Bermigio is, do you?
No, I don't recognize that name.
Here's a weird one for me. Darwin Cook, love him, by the way. Rest his soul. I don't know what he had to do with any of this, and I love him. Even did he really even draw a lot of Batman comics that I don't know of? I mean, he did Justice League New Frontier, and I love Darwin Cook. I don't know what Batman he had involvement with, but maybe these guys are just like, I like Darwin Cook. He's really cool. I'm gonna put him on there. Boom. Okay. Here's another puzzler.
Those credits were so damn long.
They are. And here's the one that really puzzles me the most, to be honest with you. Edmund Hamilton. Love him. Old-time science fiction writer who wrote a lot of some Superman stuff, a lot of Legion of Superheroes stuff, a lot of silver stuff, not so much Bronze Age. I don't know what he had to do with anything. He didn't even write. He hardly ever wrote any Batman comics that I remember. So I don't know. Okay, Michael Beacom, thank you for being here tonight. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, good night,
Good to see you.
Michael.
Good to see you. I don't know who Stas Johnson is or Trevor McCarthy. Nothing against him, just don't know.
Mm-mm.
Danielle O'Neill, Batman history. Yep, this movie
Yep.
I don't know. And Tim Sale.
Tim said
Yeah,
I can see
obviously,
the
yes.
connection. Yeah, definitely.
So thank you
Yeah,
for that.
bit of a mixed bag. Yeah, very strange.
But if you're going to put just anybody, Julia Schwartz should have been on there for sure. But what do I know?
Clobby's going to petition to have it redone.
Yes, I'm going to have it redone, and of course, at least Bill Finger's on there with Boo Kane. So.
Yes, at least he is mentioned.
Since
Absolutely.
2016, they've been doing that. And by the way, thank you. Shout out to Mark D with a C. He'd sent that picture to me, but I couldn't go ahead and grab it. I was doing stuff, but I appreciate you, Mark D, and thank you, Purple, for grabbing that.
Yeah, thank you, Mark.
But yeah, he I don't know. I just it was I liked the movie okay for those going to see it, but I mean I'm not going to tell you to go spend your 3 hours and your whatever. I don't know what it costs where you went, Purple, but I kind of laugh at everybody complaining about prices because it's dirt cheap down here in the garbage south where I live.
For us, I think it was about £11, which isn't cheap, but the cinema that I go to is really nice, so it's kind of worth it just to pay the bit extra. And we went on a Saturday, and I'd say it was about 90% full, but it was all adults. There were no kids, there were no teenagers there. Yeah.
Well, yeah, there you go. So I got a buddy of mine that we always go to the superhero movies with together pretty much, and I'd go pick a pretty good long ride out there for me to go pick him up at this place. If you're out there, bro, Chris, good to see you, bro. If you are out there. And we went, and unlike with Spider-Man when we went a couple of months back, which was fairly crowded considering it was like a 3-something showing on the first day. Mm-hmm. This one, I think we were the only. I asked him, I said, were there any other tickets when you reserved your ticket? And he said, yeah, yours. Any other seats filled? I mean, we did them online. And it's like $7 here. It was like $7 here. But
that's pretty good.
But then your fees and crap ends up being $10. But still, that's not bad, Yeah, and 6, I'm with you, 6. You don't want a bunch of kids in there.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad. I mean, we didn't have the best cinema because there was a lot of people talking, and by the start of the third act, people were kind of, you can hear them kind of shifting about, and people were getting bored, and people were getting up and going to get a drink or going to the bathroom, I guess. So it was a bit of a weird experience, but I would watch it again.
Yeah, I'd watch it again. Hey, Mr. Angel, what's up, chef? What's for breakfast? He's just getting up. All right.
Hey.
Morning there, buddy.
Morning.
Yeah, Mr. Chef is he's here with a lot of the Saturday Night Star Treks, and he's cooking even then. Over I'm not exactly what part of the world sure he's in, but it's way over there, even farther than you are, Perp. He's like way over there. So First Percy, good night, man. Appreciate you.
Good night.
We're about to call it in a second here as well, but I want to thank everyone for being here with us tonight. And I want to thank.
We have a fantastic crowd, didn't we?
What a great crowd. Amazing. And well, we don't know why. It's because you're here, Purple. They wouldn't be if it was just me. I mean, let's be honest.
Probably you're too modest. I've seen your audience. We have a fantastic group. We do.
You guys, look, let's just be honest. You can put I was about to ask them to vote and say if they're only here for you, like put a P. But they would. So don't do it. I'm just saying. I would if I were them.
I'm just really, really happy that I got to join you tonight. So thank you for letting me jump on.
Are you kidding me? It is so wonderful to have you hang out with me. It wouldn't have been much fun me talking Batman by myself. I can tell you that. And it's just he's a wonderful character. I love him. He means so much to me, and it's every now and again just get a chance to, drop back a little bit through memory lane and think about. See, well, of course, I know I'm right, D-Bud. There you go. Look, see, look at the smart asses. Yeah, okay.
See, you tell him not to do something. Yeah.
Oh, you're too kind. Oh, Six says, I would show up to Clobby. I would show up to hear you read the TLJ novelization.
Hmm.
Like, yeah, like there's really a TLJ novelization. There's no Last Jedi novel, really, is there? Is it written in crayon? I could hear it now. And suddenly, I looked at the lightsaber in my hand. Some silly little chick who looked like a gender studies student handed it to me, and I was like, "What's that? I've never seen one of these before." Oh yes, that's because I've never seen any of these movies before. And I threw it over my shoulder and said, "Come on, chick, this is going to be a rough ride for you. Yeah, don't step in that. I don't know what it was. Come on, let's go." I don't know. Wait, what? Why am I wearing my Jedi robes if I'm going to throw it over my shoulder? Hey, don't ask too many questions, kid. Just come on. We got a movie to ruin.
And just like that, Clobby's written a better film.
Yes, there you go. Yeah, my script works so much better than theirs. Oh my dear. Oh my God. It's written in invisible ink. Yeah. Oh, I hate that. How do I hate that movie? Let me count the ways. And there you go. There's no Batman movie I hate more than that. So that's
No.
something.
I don't think there's a Batman movie that I hate. I can rank them and say, some are much more fun to watch than others, and there are some that I've only ever watched once and probably wouldn't go back to. But like you say, it's a character that just resonates with people, and he's been, with us for so long. There's so many different versions of him, but at his core, it is Batman, and that's why we love him.
Absolutely. Will somebody tell me what kind of a world we live in when a man dressed up as a bat gets all of my press? I've given a name to my pain, and it is Batman. Steve Mitchum and I, when we went to see that movie like 50,000 times in 1989, we still to this day look. You say what you want. That movie's very quotable. It got a lot of pretty good quotes in Batman. That 89.
It has good quotes, yeah.
Yeah, we use them all the time. What a performance by a Nicholson. That's a Joker right there. So,
yes, you could tell he was having a great time playing that character.
yeah. See, Tim Burton. Look, and I like that, and I even like Batman Begins. But one thing that aggravated me about those, though, is he's admitted it too. He's more obsessed with the villains than Batman himself, and his villains are. It's fine that the Joker was the way he was. He was perfect, but then the Penguin's a freak. I like Danny DeVito, and it was pretty funny, but you turn him into like a little freak. It's like, I don't know, it's kind of strange. And then Catwoman is a freak. She's so fantastic and sexy, we don't care because she's
it's Michelle
Pfeiffer. Yeah,
yes.
And that outfit.
In black leather. Yeah.
But that's a take on Catwoman that's never ever really been done before or after, right?
Yes, it was definitely a deviation to the character, and I really like her. But like you say, it was different. I think I like Danny DeVito's Penguin because I was never a big fan of the Penguin. It just made him a little bit more kind of serious, a little bit more of a threat.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was different, and then it was different. But her falling off of a building and then getting bitten by radioactive cats and turning into Catwoman.
Yeah.
Yes. I guess that's what happened to her. That was again just somehow kind of we didn't really question it because she was so sexy. But what's this? It's funny how we talked about the TV show Batman Returns. I don't know if you know, you probably know, rips off two stories from the TV show. Penguin running for mayor.
Mm-hmm.
And Penguin stealing the Batmobile. He did both of those things on the TV show.
Yeah, that I remember.
So I don't know. So I just always thought Burton was a weirdo who cared more about the villains, but still I like those movies, and he's better than Schumacher.
Yes, that took Batman down a really weird road that you really didn't need to go down. And I think that's why we didn't have Batman for so long after that, because it was just so strange. It put so many people off. We kind of looped right back round to the campy, but it wasn't the fun kind of campy. It was just weird. And then it wasn't until we had the Nolan films where he got a lot more serious, a lot more grounded, that people started liking the character again.
Yep, absolutely. It took a while. Well, because Batman Forever, here you have, Tommy Lee Jones is a great actor, but
Mm-hmm.
he just plays the Joker like Nicholson did. He's not. I mean,
Yeah,
he plays
he was a
Two-Face like the Joker.
yeah, he was a bad Two-Face, and I hated Kerry
Terrible.
as a Riddler
I
as
hated
well.
him.
Yeah.
They were both just doing the Joker, or you know, they were,
Hmm.
he's nothing like Two-Face, and it's a shame because he would have been a good. I mean, he would have been a good casting for that.
I
So
always thought he
yeah,
was too old for some
hmm,
reason. Um,
hmm, could
but
be.
it could have just been the way he played it. It was just too over the top.
Yes, and there's the thing. He was nothing like the Harvey,
Mm-mm.
the tragic gangster that he's supposed to be. So it was a missed opportunity there. But we had at the time, who cared? We had the animated series, so we did it
Exactly.
right around
Yes.
that time. Well, I'll tell you what, everyone. Let's do some show notes to get out of here. I want to thank you all. Any closing? First of all, Purple, if you would tell us what you're doing this week and what you got going on with the channel.
Yes, I've got a very busy week this week. So we've got the regular shows that I do, but I've also got a new show which is starting on Wednesday evening, and it's going to be a true crime based show. We've got a really cool panel, so we're going to be talking serial killers and famous cases. So it's something different for the channel. I'm really looking forward to. And then I'm lucky enough to do a lot of guest appearances this week as well. So I've actually put up on the channel a picture of the schedule for the week, mainly for me, so I know what I'm going.
Man, you busy girl. I don't feel bad. I'm keeping you from sleep, but I'm lying. I don't feel bad because I get to hang out with you. So it's the guilt of making you miss sleep, but for my own selfishness, I get to hang out with you. So
I will miss all the sleep in the world if I get to chat
oh,
comics with you, Clobby. You know that.
you are the best, and I appreciate you. What else? Anything else going on? I just got everyone can see the schedule, or what's
Pretty much, yeah. Just trying to. The one thing that I really want to try and do is get more videos out. So that's what I'm doing at the moment.
nice.
Recording, and I'm trying to teach myself how to edit, which is interesting.
Oh wow, you can do it, and I can't. I'll never be able to learn how. I can't. I can't barely do anything. That little slide. The best I can do is that little stupid show of pictures we did tonight. I had to get my son to show me how to do that again for the 15th time, even though you and I did it a couple of months ago. Remember?
I do. I remember.
Mm.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for being here tonight. You are the best. Everyone, please. Thank you, D Bud.
Thank you,
Uh,
D-Bird.
there's
Appreciate it.
the link. Your link is in my description below anyway. But anyone who has not subscribed to Purple's channel, you probably all have. But if you haven't, please go and then make sure you are still subscribed because that goes crazy sometimes too. I've had myself unsubscribed.
Yes, YouTube's been being weird recently, and Twitter. I found people.
Oh
I
yes,
knew that I was watching, and then I go and think, yeah, they've been quiet for a while, and realize that I'm not actually following them anymore.
that's been
Yeah,
happening to me too. Yeah, and
yeah.
they're scrubbing views on me. I don't know about you, so they
Yeah, I've
suck.
noticed that.
So let's see. Shout outs. Well, damn it. Go back to the top. There we go. Wednesday night, I'll be doing something. I don't know what yet, but I'll be here hanging out and talking geekness and foolishness and with all you wonderful people. So please stop by and say hi. It'll be same clubby time, same clubby channel, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time.
I love that thumbnail.
Oh, do you? I'm pretty proud of myself. It's pretty silly, isn't it? But it's all me. That's me. What's that line from The Matrix 2? Me. That's as me as it gets. I may be narcissistic just from that's narcissism right there, folks. That's everything I stand for right there. If that's not bad enough, that's pretty close too. Clubhouse Thursday
Yes.
night with my wonderful dear friend Commander R.M. Briggs and the Chief Engineer Mark D. with a C. But we just say we're on first name basis now, so we'd say Mark D. Okay, first name and a letter basis. But anyway, it's just the three of us, as always, hanging out and geeking out and nerding out. Because she's going to slap me if I don't say nerd too. Because even though I think it's all the same, but hey, I just work here. I can't. I got to say nerd too. I love you, Raquel. Please go. Please, no one tell her about this if she's not listening. She's going to get on me for it. And then Saturday night Star Trek, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. We start with season 6 of Star Trek: The Next Generation. And I don't know why I'm talking like this, but why not? Because it's a cuz. That's why. Cuz.
Because you can. Exactly.
That's right. Just cuz we can. It's better. By the way, we will be having a show pretty soon where the whole show, I'm gonna get 10 people on. We're all gonna talk like this the whole time. How about that? And Purple's gonna have to be on that one because I know she can do it.
Damn.
That's not good enough. No, I'm just kidding.
I will practice.
Love you all. Thank you all for being here tonight, everyone. Mr. Angel, cook away, buddy. Have a great day. The great Steve Mitchum, the lovely Six, the great Mark D with a C, the extraordinary Hungry for Writers to Just Write Again, aka Hungry Boy, Matthew Pounder, Grifter, Eric K, Chris Persia, who else was here? Cal L.
Hello, yeah, we've got D-Bud. Good to see you guys.
D-Bud, brother. Adam Outsider was here, right?
I think Keely Chow was in as well.
That's right, Keely Chow, yes.
Yeah.
You know, this thing actually does. Matthew Pounder, good to see you. It does go all the way back now. Snail Messiah was here.
It does, yeah. I can see you scrolling back up. Yeah, we had some great people in tonight.
J.D. Lewis.
Michael Beacom,
J.D. Lewis. Do you know Snail Messiah sent me some comics from way over there in Denmark or whatever?
Really?
It was very nice of him. Some Beetle Bailey comics. Thank you, Snail.
Nice.
I appreciate it. And I really appreciate that. It was very nice of you. And I think anyone we missed, it's just chalk it up to me being senile, everybody. That's what I blame on pretty much everything in my life these days. Trevor Cunningham, thank you. So before we get out of here, I want to take a look at this little bitty video that shows us the wonderful works of fiction of my amazing first officer, R.M. Briggs. There'll be a link in the description below. And
Absolutely.
After I play this, yes, and I love her. She's just amazing. And after this, I will play the credits, and we will be out of here, my friends. Thank you so much.